I just saw a fireball and then it was just gone. So I haven't seen anything since they hit the river, but it was a CRJ and a helicopter that hit. I would say maybe a half-mile off the approach end of 33.
We begin tonight with America's worst air disaster in decades, a mid-air collision killing 67 people last night in Washington, D.C. A live stream from an EarthCam web camera, you're seeing it right now, captured that moment of impact, a fireball lighting up the sky. Right now, investigators are looking into what caused a mid-air crash between an American Airlines jet and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. Officials believe there are no survivors. Good evening, I'm Jenna Webster.
And I'm John Diaz. Thanks for joining us at 5. About 40 bodies have been recovered so far. The crash happened last night near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. Following the collision, both aircrafts crashed into the Potomac River. Sources tell ABC News dive teams ended operations about 2 hours ago because they have recovered all of the bodies they're able to without moving the fuselage. Harrison Belsanti joins us in studio now to break down the latest, including what we're learning about some of the crash victims. Good evening, Harrison.
Yeah, hey guys, so far we know about 40 bodies have been recovered, as John just said, including at least one of the soldiers from the Army helicopter. We're still learning more about those on board the plane and helicopter. Defense officials say a captain, staff sergeant, and chief warrant officer were in the helicopter, while the plane carried 60 passengers and 4 crew members, including U.S. figure skating athletes and coaches. U.S. Figure Skating saying in a statement, "We are devastated by this unspeakable tragedy and hold the victims' families closely in our hearts." The American Airlines flight was heading to Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport from Wichita, Kansas, where the U.S. Championships and a development camp were held this past weekend. The tragedy putting a dark cloud over what the mayor says was a wonderful event for her city.
It was truly an honor to have future Olympians and those who are at the highest competition level of figure skating right here in the air capital.
We're going to know people who are on this flight, know their family members, know somebody. So this is a very personal circumstance as well as an official response.
I boarded a plane so many times. The feeling is always the same. I know I'll get from one destination to the other, but it's still always scary for me.
The plane was found upside down in 3 sections in waist-deep water. About 300 first responders were on scene early Thursday. There's no word yet on what caused the collision, but officials say conditions were clear as the jet approached for the landing when the helicopter crossed its path. The NTSB says they'll stay on scene until all evidence is gathered, with a preliminary report expected in 30 days. Audio from air traffic control reveals the military pilot acknowledged he saw the jet approaching the runway. John?
All right, Harrison, thank you. Here locally, according to the Iowa Department of Transportation, there were 7 air accidents with 1 death in Iowa last year, and over the past 5 years, the state has averaged 13 accidents a year.